There's a guy who can tell you the exact horsepower, torque, weight, and quarter-mile time of over 200 cars, but he forgot his own wedding anniversary 3 years in a row. That's not a joke. That's a real pattern. And when psychologists started looking into why, what they found completely changed how we understand a certain type of human mind. Most people look at a car and see transportation. Maybe they notice the color, the brand, maybe the price. But there are people, millions of them, who look at that same car and instantly begin processing a flood of technical data.
Engine displacement, compression ratio, redline RPM, drag coefficient. Numbers that most of us would forget the second we read them. These people don't forget.
They don't just remember. They collect this information the way others collect art or memories. And the question nobody really asks is why? What is actually happening inside that brain? The first thing you need to understand is that this isn't about cars. Not really. The cars are almost beside the point. What we're actually talking about is a specific cognitive style, a way the brain is wired to interact with the world. And once you understand it, you'll start seeing it everywhere. Psychologists call it systemizing. It's a cognitive drive identified by Professor Simon Baron-Cohen at Cambridge University, and it refers to the compulsion to analyze, build, and understand rule-based systems. A system is anything that follows rules: mathematics, music theory, train schedules, legal codes. And car specifications? They are a perfect system. Every number connects to another number. Horsepower affects acceleration. Weight affects handling. Gear ratios affect fuel economy. It all fits together with logical precision. And for a systemizing brain, that precision is not just satisfying, it is deeply, almost physically pleasurable. This is where dopamine becomes part of the story. Every time a systemizing brain finds a pattern, completes a set, or masters a category, the brain releases dopamine, the same chemical released when you win something, eat something delicious, or accomplish a goal. For someone with a high systemizing drive, memorizing the specs of every turbocharged engine produced between 1985 and 2005 isn't a chore. It's a reward cycle. Each new fact is a hit. Each completed mental category is a small rush of satisfaction. The brain is literally being chemically rewarded for learning more. Now, here's what makes this even more fascinating. Research consistently shows that the systemizing drive is not evenly distributed across the population. It clusters. It appears far more frequently in people who also show traits associated with autism spectrum conditions, ADHD, and high introversion. Baron-Cohen's research found that engineers, mathematicians, and scientists score dramatically higher on systemizing scales than the general population. And car spec memorizers? They score off the charts. But don't make the mistake of thinking this is a deficit, because the same brain that memorizes 200 sets of engine specifications is also capable of extraordinary things in the right environment. These individuals often have what psychologists call crystallized intelligence, a deep, structured, almost encyclopedic knowledge base in specific domains. And crystallized intelligence, unlike fluid intelligence, actually increases with age. The person who annoys you at a dinner party by correcting everyone's car facts might also be the person who solves an engineering problem that stumped an entire team for 6 months. There's another layer here that most people never think about. For many of these individuals, the deep knowledge isn't just intellectually satisfying, it's emotionally protective. The world is unpredictable. People are unpredictable. Relationships involve ambiguity and emotional complexity that can feel genuinely overwhelming to certain types of minds. But a database of car specifications? That never changes. A 1998 Honda S2000 will always have a 2.0-liter engine producing 240 horsepower at 8,300 RPM. That fact was true yesterday. It will be true tomorrow. In a chaotic, confusing world, mastery of a stable system is a form of psychological safety. It's control, and control feels like calm. This connects directly to identity. When you know something at a level almost nobody else does, that knowledge becomes part of who you are. It becomes a source of self-worth that doesn't depend on other people's approval. For individuals who may have struggled socially, who didn't fit in easily, who found emotional connection difficult, Becoming the undisputed expert on something is a way of mattering.
It's a way of having value in a room, and car culture specifically provides a ready-made community of people who speak that same technical language. Finding that community, for many, is the first time in their life they felt genuinely understood.
Now let's talk about memory, because this is where it gets genuinely strange. Most people assume that memorizing large amounts of technical data requires exceptional general memory, the kind of memory that would also make you great at remembering names, faces, birthdays, appointments.
But that's not how it works. The human brain doesn't have one memory system. It has several. And the one engaged by deep, passionate, pattern-based learning is called semantic memory, the memory of facts and concepts. This system, when activated by genuine interest and emotional engagement, operates at a completely different level than the memory most of us use in daily life.
Studies on expertise consistently show that chess grandmasters don't have better general memory than average people. They have extraordinarily developed semantic memory for chess configurations. Car spec enthusiasts show the exact same pattern. They can recall the torque curve of a 1970 Dodge Challenger in vivid detail, and forget to pick up their dry cleaning for the 4th time this week. These aren't contradictions. They're the same brain doing exactly what it was built to do, allocating massive cognitive resources to the domain that matters most to it, and almost none to the things that don't. There's also a social signaling component that psychologists have started paying close attention to. In evolutionary psychology, the display of deep, specialized knowledge functions similarly to a peacock's feathers. It's a demonstration of cognitive investment. Among car enthusiasts, the person who knows the most, who can correct others, fill in gaps, settle debates, occupies a specific social status. That status may not translate to the outside world, but within the group, it is very real and very meaningful. The brain knows this. It is motivated not just by the pleasure of knowing, but by the social reward of being the one who knows. And here's something that ties all of this together in a way most people never consider. The traits we've been describing, high systemizing, pattern recognition, deep focus, encyclopedic domain knowledge, emotional regulation through mastery, these are not personality flaws. They are not symptoms of something broken. In the right context, they are some of the most valuable cognitive traits a human being can possess. The people who built the engines these enthusiasts memorize, many of them had the exact same psychological profile. The obsessive detail orientation that makes someone seem strange at a social gathering is the same trait that makes an engineer catch a flaw that would have cost lives. What we often label as quirky, nerdy, or socially awkward is frequently just a mind that found its system before it found its community. And the car specs are just the surface. Underneath them is a person who experiences the world through the lens of logic, pattern, and mastery, who finds beauty in precision the way others find it in music or art, who has built an entire inner world out of numbers that most people throw away the moment they read them. So the next time someone starts telling you more than you ever wanted to know about the compression ratio of a specific engine from 1987, don't tune out, because what you're actually watching, if you know how to see it, is a human brain doing exactly what it was built to do. Finding order in complexity, finding identity in expertise, finding peace in the one thing in the world that always makes perfect sense. The question isn't why they memorize all of it. The question is what the rest of us are missing by not caring that much about anything.